finish all my schooling as a rehabilitation psychologist, counselor type thing, rehabilitating victims of human trafficking. I hope to work in Asia just because it's such a problem there, and I feel like even were I to work in Canada, because I know it's a problem here too, I would want to help the victims in their own culture or through that cultural lens, and so I feel like I should at the very least live there for a while, if not for pronunciation has suffered. But according to this, in Italian, to say Merry Christmas, it's